Hello, everybody. Welcome to this weekend update video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I figured I'd do one show up what I've been working on Mouse Creek, and then also a little bit of an update on the International CV. Just figured I'd do show that in a video. I'll be submitting it to Giants probably while this video is uploading, so look forward to that coming out soon as well, but let's get into it and take a look at things. So yeah, we're here on Mouse Creek. We have a little bit of a different crop here right now. But when you get in the combine, it's green beans. So what I've done is I've actually modified the base game crops, or they built them into the map and then modified them so that now instead of having green beans as being green, you're leaving them until they've ripened and can harvest them. Right now I just have the withered texture for them, which I don't really like the color of. It's a little too gray. And the stubble texture still needs some attention as well. So I'll be... It's not done. It's still need to tweak. Not sure yet if I want to just tweak the colors on these, or I might actually... because the map will still be a while yet, I might wait till harvest and actually take some pictures of them out in the field to get the better foliage for these. Is, in my experience, once they're ready to harvest, it's pretty much just pods and stems. There's no leaves or anything on them, really. And I also don't have a proper texture in there right now. Right now, it's just kind of a soybean texture. But yeah, that's one thing there. Then the peas, again, these are the base game peas, so they're no longer green. They've ripened. I haven't done the header animations for them yet. But these are using the pea textures from Edgewater in 22 for the ripened state. I'm not exactly sure on my stubble texture there. Maybe I'll do up a custom one that I can use for both crops. This one's just using the soybean one right now, but not a huge fan of it either, exactly. It's more designed for being in rows, so... we'll maybe change that before this comes out, but, yeah, there's the peas. And then lastly, so far, I still will be adding the, lentils and flax as well, but I just haven't got to those yet. But I've added fall rye, which this is actually using textures from the Mod Hub. There was a pack with crops. I don't remember the author, but it's prefab on Mod Hub there. And then the only thing I did is I customized the texture for it, because I found they had just edited a wheat with a different color, and rye is kind of a little bit different, a longer seed shape. It's more similar to oats, so I simply took the oats texture and I had a plugin in Paint.net that you could somehow paste an image in there and it would try to match the colors. So I just took a picture of fall rye from the internet and used that to match, and I think it turned out not too bad. So yeah, that's where we got that from. We will do this. So I want it to drive over closer to the there. But while we're waiting for it to get over to that railroad bridge I wanted to show, I will take a look at the crop calendar. So I've modified most of the crops you'll actually grow on the map so far, with more realistic seeding and harvest times. I am probably going to go through all the crops too, just because I'm also going to modify some of the non-typical crops like cotton. So you can still grow it, but it's probably going to have a diminished yield to try and discourage you from farming it. Also the dry beans, some places they'll say green and some is dry bean. I haven't figured that out exactly. But yeah, you got fall rye is You can technically do spring rye, but I figured, well, most of the rye is usually grown as fall rye. So I figured I'd do that as a solely fall crop. Oats I've changed. Peas have been modified to be peas. Potatoes I've changed. Sorghum I did. Soybeans. But I'll do all of them eventually. I did actually find some information about some vegetables on the government website, which I found interesting that's even a thing in Manitoba, but they did have information on seeding dates and stuff, so I'll probably modify that as well for some of those crops where there was information available. And GPS is stopped here. So yeah, I wanted to show one of these scenes here. Actually, we'll just go in here, turn on flight mode here. So yeah, I made a custom bridge. I took the one from Riverbend and just reassembled it to make a bridge that fit this spot. I really like this spot on the map. It's quite photogenic. No train coming by, but when there is, it's a very pretty spot. But I've got the railroad in place here with the train. If you saw my tutorial showing it, I showed that a bit there. Fog, I was wondering what's going on there with texture. But yeah, we'll come back over here. We'll take a little looky here at the CV update, and then we'll do a little bit more back in the map, driving around the CV. So I've added an option now to them for Roughneck Modding's bed pack. So you can make a truck here. Part of me wonders, maybe I should actually change the attacher joint on this one a bit, because it is touching the cab just a little bit on the dump configuration. So maybe I'll tweak that a little bit yet before submitting. And also we can throw the service bed on this one. We'll take a look here in the store at what's changed as well, and then we'll go do a drive around and look at some more map stuff. Fuel tank's still the same. So in here, I added the custom bed pack attacher, so you get the bare frame. Also fixed various material things on this truck. So like the trim pieces under the windows here were body color before, so I fixed those. There was about 2 days went into fixing stuff like that and being able to put a custom exhaust on it. So there's kind of a factory tip on these trucks that I found in images, so kind of recreated it there. You can also, if you don't like that, you can go to the factory tip. On some of these, it'll actually angle down a bit just to give clearance for the beds. It also does it a little bit on my custom flat deck there. It angles down just a bit for that. We'll just leave it on this though. So you do have the 2 exhaust options there. Personally, I'd use this one for most of the bed pack stuff. The other one looked kind of goofy, tilted down to go under the bed. This one makes more sense to me, and that's a factory thing on the international website. And then there's maybe another thing to look at. Not sure what this face is here. I'll have to look into that. I might have missed selecting something there or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll have a look at that yet too. Yeah, there's those 2 things. Then on the color options, you will notice, if you update an existing save, or update the truck and you own one on an existing save game, your grille and bumper will go to a default color. I think is what I remember doing. I did have a save game that had a truck, so I went and bought it just to see what would happen. The mirrors and the step seem to retain a color. So yeah, the grille has its own option now. It's on its own with the headlights. The step is on its own now. So that way, if you have the step cover, if you want to color match them, you can. Actually, there. If you want to color match them, you can. The mirrors also does the door handles, and it does the top and bottom of the mirror now. So, and then the bumper is just the bumper now. And the bed color is for my flat deck option for the dump bed option. So yeah, added the color options there. Figured it's better. I didn't like the way before how they're kind of connected, because sometimes you couldn't get the truck looking quite the way you maybe wanted it to look. So yeah, between making that color options exhaust, probably honestly about 15 hours of work went into just being able to do those options, because I had to basically reassemble the whole truck in Blender, which was not that much fun, but wanted to do that, wanted to be able to fix that exhaust up, so that was unfortunately what had to be done for that. But yeah, we will do a little drive around now. Actually, we'll take this yellow one. I'm just gonna cheat in some wheat into the bed. Oh, actually, since we're here at the dealer, I should start here. Yeah, we got the dealership now on the map. So let's see. Corner equipment. At night, the sign will light up there. And the sign on by the highway will light up as well. It's kind of hard to read. Maybe should have done that a little differently, but livestock market there is just a test fitting. See if I like that there. Same with all these other buildings, are just kind of here for kind of mock up the map and get an idea for how I want to lay things out. Yeah, up ahead here we have the co-op is in place. It's not currently functional, just because it's calling it from the original independent mod, and so then as a result of that, right now it's not functional, but it will be when I get to that point of needing it. Then I'll switch it over just this way. It can stay that it still appears in Giants Editor for me to tweak and move around if all of a sudden I decide I want to change things yet. Like that. Yeah, that's kind of the layout there. Obviously need to add some stuff around to make it look lived in rather than just 3 buildings on an empty lot. We have a grain elevator here. This one is still about, I'm not sure, 8 to 9 years old on the textures and stuff, so it needs to be redone yet. But it will be that model. I'll be overhauling the inside of it, be more detailed, and then redoing the textures and stuff. I'll still probably try to keep that weathered painted siding look. Oh, here goes the train there. But yeah, we'll try to keep that weathered look to it, but with new textures that look much better. And then we'll cross the road over here. And we'll come over to the Mouse Creek pool elevator here. So this one has been redone. It's the same age as that other model, but it's been redone with a new interior for it, pulled from the Giants elevator. As fortunately, this elevator no longer exists in real life, so I don't have it to go and look at. But this is kind of roughly the way it was laid out. But yeah, this one is functional. It's fully implemented. Again, it just needs some detailing around the lot of it. Surprisingly slow. But yeah, so there's that elevator there. Should be plenty of height for any tandems or anything needing to unload in here. And I will hopefully have these set up that the AI will be able to sell for you as well. I did try setup now, but I don't have the rest of the network set up for them, so I think it might need that to be functional. A little bit laggy there. Yeah, got the new texture on the side here. Couldn't use it on the mural, unfortunately, just because this is actually an image I had taken, I believe, with my iPhone 4S many years ago. So it's not the greatest quality, but again, it doesn't exist anymore in real life, so this is the best image I have to use. And yeah, that's that. Yeah, not sure what I want to do with this grass area. It's too big, or it's too small to do some things with, but then it's too big to just leave empty, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put here yet. I know in the real life location there's kind of a little, there's a sign and a little gazebo thing and stuff, so maybe I'll do a little park or something in this corner. Like that. But yeah, that basically sums up where we're at on the map. There's no real other major changes. I kind of was doing this, and then I kind of was like, kind of wanted a break from working on buildings and stuff, so then I got into the crops, and then the bed pack came out here, so I decided, well, I should update the truck for that. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on lately. And yeah, I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna continue to take a little break from the map and do work on some more mods, or if I'm gonna get back into the map, maybe finish up this other elevator, and most of the other buildings I was probably going to be just using Giants ones from Riverbend and whatnot. For the rest of the town, aside from the livestock auction, I'm not sure if I want to use that building or if I'll make my own or what I'll do with that. But it's coming together slowly but surely, so yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this weekend update. Yeah, look forward to this update coming soon. I know Giants says their queue is pretty small for updates, but possibly my guess would be next week would be my guess, because I find their estimates to be usually on the shorter side of what actually happens. So, and also I think there's FarmCon coming up soon, so that might also affect the testing schedule. I don't know what the involvement is with people there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.